What happened last week with the pass protection?
It's just, as we've kind of said throughout this whole time through training camp, just it's going to always be a work in progress. First of all, it starts with me, putting these guys in a position to be successful. The pass protection is a responsibility of myself as a play caller, putting our guys in good position, obviously getting these guys prepared for all the different looks. Carolina was a tough challenge. Not only are they talented, they brought a lot of different looks, particularly with last year, that we had to get our guys prepared for, not knowing what they're going to change up in week one. So I think a little of it was just, getting them a little bit more prepared. I thought it settled down as the game went on, but when you lose the run game and defenses can just kind of tee off, it makes it hard on everybody, including obviously the up front, but the quarterback, myself, everybody. So it's a collective effort that's going to continue to have to get better.
What did you see in the run game? I know you down 16-0 late, you're probably not running well, but early you're trying to get it going and it seemed to work.
Yeah, the run game. It's what we preach to these guys all the time. It takes all 11. It takes the right call at the right time, making sure that our guys are prepared for whatever checks are going to be. If we do got the right call, there's so many people that have to be so spot on in the run game to get it done. So if 10 guys were right and one guy was a little bit off, that can stuff it up. And again, when you have that talented front that Carolina has, it can be a little bit of a struggle. They kind of teed off on us early, then they softened up a little bit in terms of they brought some more pass pressures later in the game. We got some runs going. That's what got that first drive. And anytime you kind of get an explosive, that's what gave us that touchdown, in the third quarter. Then started off the fourth quarter with 9 minutes to go down. What was it, 19-8? Got a nice explosive run there, and then we went to a pass on 1st and 10, got us in 2nd and long, and that was kind of the end of the run game. So I thought we got going a little bit later. Just the first half, it would just be one guy, wrong play call, whatever it might be. Again, a collective effort.
What happened on the 4th and 1? Was that just they were better, or do you wish you had that one?
Again, no. I mean, again, we didn't get our guys prepared enough for that exact front. There was a little bit of miscommunication. Again, there was a lot of things going on up front in terms of just all the different fronts and looks they were getting. So, I know our guys would want that one back. I wish, we could have gave them that look during the week of practice. We had one little mistake that happened, and you can see a play that if ran absolutely correctly and called at the right time, had a chance at being a big play, but just one little communication off and a little execution, next thing you know, it's their ball going the other way and changed the whole game.
What were your thoughts on Zach and how he did, and where would you like to see some improvements this week?
I thought he really settled in. It was his first game in the NFL amongst all the other guys that obviously played in their first game as rookie quarterbacks. But he did some really good things. He did some things that he's going to learn from, and that quite frankly is going to be all year. It's going to go into year 2. I mean, there's so many things that happen in the game. It was kind of cool talking to him after, because we kept saying how important every single play is, not to overwhelm or make it bigger than it is, but how you have to stay so locked in and at the end of the game, he was not happy because we lost, but in terms of wow, you were so right in terms of this is hard. It's mentally taxing on people, and you'll I would think see the improvement going from week 1 to week 2.
What did you see from Elijah? He obviously first game. What did you see from him?
Again, another one of the young guys playing in their first game. He had a really, really good week of practice. Had some opportunities to make some plays. Some other times, he wasn't getting involved because the coverage wasn't dictating it to go that way. But he's a guy that we have so much confidence in that I do truly believe he's going to have a big year. I think he's going to have a big one this week, in terms of just having opportunities if the ball comes his way. We have so much confidence in him. But again, just a rookie kind of learning the speed of the game right now.
Given Zach's value to the franchise, just keeping him healthy for 17 games is obviously going to be very important. Do you see that as your personal responsibility?
Absolutely. I mean, the whole thing starts with me. If anytime a play doesn't work, whether it be run or pass, you look at yourself first, and that's and I'm going to be as hard on myself as possible. Why is he taking that hit? Why is that run not working? So we go back and, not the next day. I mean, you try to correct it right there on the drive. Was there a protection issue? Was there a communication issue? Is it a scheme issue? Whatever it might be, you try to get corrected. But I will forever, as long as I'm here, if he's getting hit, the offense isn't succeeding, you're going to put it on yourself first, And like you said, I mean, whether it's him, whether it's Mike, whether it's Josh, you don't want to see any of those guys getting hit. It's part of playing the position at times. You have to sit in there, and the defense gets paid as well. But again, I'm always going to put it on myself to make sure that that is limited.
One of the things that the Patriots love to do is take away your favorite option. Obviously, Corey Davis is Zach's favorite target. So what are ways that you can still free him up open to get him the ball this week?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way we try to operate our offense, right? We try to move people around and get them in positions to, be successful, whether it be leverage, whether it be looks, whether it be get the bump off, what may have you. They obviously do a great job of taking away, what you try to do best, and I would assume that they're going to kind of look at Corey in that fashion. We've played against them before in terms of with Julio in 16. They did the same thing, but there were still ways where we were able to get Julio open. So hopefully, we think we got a plan to still get Corey involved, but we know that their eyes are going to be on him for sure.
Is that unique in what New England does and how they can take where they make it their sole goal? This one guy is not going to beat us. Or do they just do it better than what other defenses do?
Yeah, I think, it's one of those things that here we are in year one going into week 2 of our tenure here, and there they are in year 20 of doing what they've done forever. And their whole thing has been matchups and being able to take guys away, whether it be the run game, pass game, finding whatever they believe is the weakness of an offense, they're going to try to exploit it. And they're going to make whatever they don't think is a strong point of the offense, obviously, make you win the football game in that fashion. So it is, it's unique, but it's also, they've gotten so good at it because they've done it for 20 years, and that's why so many people have so much respect for them. And that's why you see the success they've had on defense. Obviously, Tom and the Super Bowls and all that with the offense, but their defense has been absolutely superb for, most of his tenure there.
What's it like? What's the challenge for you? Everybody talks about Belichick's defense, especially against rookie quarterbacks, things like that. What's it like preparing to face that?
It's tough. I mean, he brings so many different things at you, and whatever you saw last week, the foundation of what they do is obviously always going to be the same. I mean, they're very sound at what they do. They present a lot of different packages. One of the unique things I think with good defensive teams and units is how multiple can you be, and how much are your players not busting. And when you pop on the tape in New England, whether it be this year, last year, or any of the other years we played them, you can see that. They give you a lot of challenges, but their players seem like they're playing fast and they're always sound in the right position. So it's going to be a huge challenge, obviously mentally for myself, the quarterback, all of our guys up front and all that, but it's also going to be a physical challenge too because they're very talented as well.
Mike, with Denzel Mims, three plays, looking at it from the outside, Robert talked the other day about he kind of hinted that he didn't know all 3 receiver positions in the backup. You have to. That makes sense. But you also look at it and say, this guy has things he can't coach, right? 6'3", 4'3", 40. Why not kind of package of plays for him? Why not get him in when the offense is scuffling and take some shots to him in the first half? Why didn't he get in until 3 halves?
Yeah, and kind of to follow up, I mean, it's the truth with what Salah said. He wasn't our starter going into the game. And when you're not a starter, I mean, this whole league, you have to have versatility within, the different positions. And he's gotten better. Last week, I thought, was his best week of practice in terms of just having a great understanding of what's going on at X and Z. It's not easy, and particularly for a guy that missed most of all OTAs and then still missed a little bit of training camp. So, and then to answer the, kind of the question a little bit further, we never really got in a rhythm. We want to sub as much as possible. We want to keep our guys fresh. I kind of look at it's like a defensive line. You want to keep those guys fresh, not going 8, 9 plays in a drive. We rotated as much as anyone in San Francisco. We just never really got that rhythm going, and so when you got your starters, when you want to get E. Moore going, if we take him out, now it's his rhythm a little bit off. And we didn't have those drives in that first half to sustain enough to really get the subs in the snap count that we wanted.
Mike, when you look at just kind of following up a little bit on the Mims thing, I mean, he played the 3 snaps, which was the least of all receivers. You guys, as Robert told us yesterday, are expecting to get Keelan back this week and then also Jameson back this week.
Right.
Those are obviously 2 guys I know you want to get the ball to, so they're theoretically going to push Denzel even further down. I mean, is it, when you only got on the field for 3 snaps when you had 4 guys, now you're adding 2 more to the mix. I mean, is it even harder for him to get on the field?
I wouldn't say harder. It's just how many plays are we going to end up having? If we can continue to sustain drives, we'll sub those guys in and out. There's the cool part of it, and it's a problem, but a good problem. I do think we have a deep receiving core. I think we have a lot of guys that can play in this league. So whether it's Keelan, Denzel, Jamison, obviously Braxton showed up really well in Jamison's absence. You still want to get him on the field. By the way, you still have Corey and Elijah. So yeah, to answer your question, it is going to be tougher for all those guys. That's why what they're doing Wednesday, today, tomorrow in practice is absolutely so important to just show everyone that you cannot keep me off the field. And like I said, with just him last week and really the kind of weeks leading up to it, he's been getting better every single week. You guys might not be able to see it because obviously you're not seeing the practice tape, but he's getting better. He's starting to learn this offense more. He was a little bit behind because of again, just not having those OTA reps. Those are absolutely critical in year one, particularly in this offense with the moving parts that we got. I continue, I want to see him continue to get better on those days that I'm talking about.
Take a couple more.
Mike, with the offensive line now, with Makai out, how much does this unit just need time to work together and not have people coming in and out as kind of they had in training camp?
Yeah, I said last week, I felt comfortable, I guess you could say, with kind of the mix in and match, and I thought, those last few weeks they were starting to kind of gel together a little bit. And again, credit to Carolina for the issues they gave us both schematically and physically up there. It'll be critical, any time that you have five straight, the same five guys taking basically all the practice reps Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all through walkthrough. You just naturally feel a little bit more confident, but again, you're not going to be able to replace a guy like Makai. We'd rather have the problem of having Makai here, right, and then kind of mixing and matching because he's such a talented dude, still improving every single day. So it stinks that we're not going to have him, but again, to answer your question, we're going to have those five, and I think the work that they're going to put in, you hope it carries over to Sunday.
A lot of people look at Belichick as probably the greatest NFL coach ever. As a first-time young coordinator to go up against that kind of figure, what is that like for you?
It's challenging, but you just try to, when you get in on Monday, you put the Carolina game to bed and you put on the tape and you go. And no matter who you're playing, yes, you got to attack what they're doing, but you still got to think about what can we do? What do we do best? What's going to put Zach in this offense in the best situation? So as you go, yes, it's in the back of your mind of who you're going against. It always does. But at the same time, it's what do we do? What can we get good at? How can we improve? How can we execute? How can we communicate better? And then you go from there, and you just kind of forget about the logo that you're playing against, and you just focus on yourself, and you ask the players to do the same thing. You just take care of yourself, take care of your job, and we'll let the chips kind of fall where they may.
In terms of collaborating with Zach, just what is that relationship like? How much input does he have? Is he making suggestions? Are you changing stuff based on what he likes and what he doesn't? I'm just curious, what that whole.
Yeah, he's still in the. He's a smart kid. He's obviously only been in the league for 4 or 5 months, but he's always kind of studied ball. And he'll give up suggestions and stuff like that. But right now, I think he's just kind of in the mode of studying, trying to figure out defense and asking the questions of what this defense is trying to get done. Sometimes you can't answer it. There's times, and we all kind of want it. We want it black and white. Why is that guy here, but on this time he's here? Well, they're human too. They might be here. They're trying to disguise. They're trying to fool you. They're professionals. They're understanding that you're asking these questions. So right now I'd say he's more in the mode of just trying to absorb information as he kind of studies film. But again, when he sees something, particularly on game day, he's not afraid to kind of say what he saw, and you try to make your adjustments from there.